Professor Jiang's Xueqin opens the course with a simple and brutal question. Why do societies behave the way they do? Why do we do what we do? What motivates us? What pushes us? What moves us as individuals and as a civilization? He says there are several famous theories that attempt to explain human behavior. Religion, for example, sees history as an internal war between good and evil, a constant struggle between God's side and Satan's side within each person. Biology says the core of existence is reproduction, the race to pass on one's genes. Then Jiang introduces the lens he considers the most powerful, game theory. To him, any social situation is a game with three elements. First, the players, those who take part. Second, the rules, the limits of what's possible. Third, the incentives, what defines victory. When you understand the players, the rules, and the incentives, you understand the game and begin to predict how it tends to unfold. He promises three benefits. You become a more lucid person. You better understand the real world by analyzing events beyond mere indignation. And you develop a predictive ability that gives you more control over your own life. To show how this works, he uses a simple example. Imagine 5 men and 5 women wanting to get married. Each can be ranked from 1 to 5 in attractiveness, measured by looks and health, wealth and status. In theory, the most stable outcome would be for everyone to pair with their equivalent. It would be an equilibrium in which no one can improve without losing something, and the system stabilizes. But Jiang says real life doesn't follow that equilibrium. Instead of evenly distributed choices, competition becomes concentrated around those at the top, while many are left out or give up on the game. He recounts a classroom experiment about minimum marriage requirements and uses the responses to illustrate a pattern of asymmetric expectations and intense competition for the top tier. Then comes the central thesis. People seem irrational only because we're looking at the wrong objective. According to Jiang, the modern game isn't about sex or reproduction, it's about status. People choose partners as a public signal of value, prestige, and validation. Having children becomes a cost and a sacrifice, and many will only accept that sacrifice if it brings symbolic reward or social advancement. Once you understand that the prize is status, behavior begins to make sense within the logic of the game. That leads to a historical question. If this game destroys society, how has humanity survived for so long? His answer is that the game changes as the superstructure changes. The superstructure is the broader framework of society, its population, wealth, technology, competition, culture, and religion. In small and poor societies, the focus is on survival and cohesion, not dating. In societies competing with rivals, the focus is on producing many children, and arranged marriages make sense. In the modern world, marked by overpopulation and advanced technology, children stop being a necessity and become an obstacle, while dating turns into a lottery to climb the social ladder. Jiang connects this to the present and says a historical sign of civilizational collapse is when rich, well-educated women stop having children en masse. He argues that this happened in past empires and is now visible in several wealthy regions of the world, with declining fertility and rapid aging. He highlights East Asia as a critical case, using South Korea as an extreme example of demographic decline and structural risk. Cross-referencing wealth and fertility, he points to Israel as a rare case of a rich country with fertility above replacement level, suggesting that there, having children functions as a form of status tied to collective identity, duty, and religion. In the West and parts of modern Asia, he says, materialism dominates and status comes to be measured by fame, money, and validation, making demographic survival harder. He concludes by saying that game theory doesn't provide final answers, but rather a method for asking better questions. By identifying players, rules, and incentives, you understand the superstructure of the system and can see where it came from and where it is likely headed.